This is like $170 monitor, we think. It's been sent to us by Key2 Combat, aka KTC. They've told us a load of specs. We're going to put it on the rig and we're going to see whether we can actually go sim racing with this and what the pros are of it. So it should go to 240 Hertz, which should be pretty good, but it is 1080p. Big thanks to KTC for sending us over and sponsoring this video. Let's put it to the test.
It has.
So we've got standoffs, we've got what looks to be a HDMI cable, and we've got what looks to be a kettle lead. So ports, we've got 2 HDMIs and 2 display ports, and there's also USB, a service, I guess update.
And a headphone plug-in.
And headphone for headphones. And it's working.
Oh, it's straight up.
So it's the KTC H32S17. We're talking 1440p at 180 Hertz. First thing I'm noticing is that I'm noticing how tall it is. And normally when I'm using ultra wide, I'm like, I don't need anything else. But you can see here there's space and I'm using that space. Yes. Now, obviously my field of view has changed because if you have a ultra wide, you can have more field of view. What it's done here, I think, is kept my field of view on
and just
super
trimmed
ultra.
off the edges.
No, I don't think it's trimmed off anything. It's kept it.
Okay.
Because it's the same field of view, but obviously now I'm on a narrower monitor. So frame rate wise, we're running over 100. Obviously we're pushing quite a lot. The monitor's got FPS to spare. Let's see when we get going and like there's less cars as we overtake everyone.
So the response time is 1 ms.
Throw some stats at me.
1 ms response time. Resolution, QHD.
Well, so response time, there's no point having an insane direct drive wheel with low response time if your monitor's going to have...
If it can't keep up.
If it can't keep up. So the monitor's going to keep up 1 ms.
A refresh rate up to 180 Hertz.
Yeah.
We'll see what that's like when we actually fully get going on this race. Contrast ratio, 3,500 to 1.
Let's talk about that. This is not an OLED. You wouldn't expect it for this price. That looks pretty dark up there to me. And also, it's not, I wouldn't say it's glossy at all. That looks very matte to me. I can't actually see, I think, any reflection.
You've whammed up the brightness as well.
And we got loads of studio lights in here. So that's a bit surprising, I would say. I am missing, obviously, having this wide, and that's the thing. I've got more up top, but not wide.
Okay, so the screen size is a 31.5. The curvature is 1500R.
There is a curve on this.
There is, which honestly kind of surprised us.
It's very subtle.
We were not imagining it come with a curve.
It's a very, very, very subtle curve. G-Sync is on. We're G-Synced.
So not for me, because of course I know what it means, but for the viewers, what does G-Sync mean?
So G-Sync means that basically it's going to deliver the frame. The monitor is going to adjust actually its frame rate to match what frames the game's outputting. So you're not going to have any, I'm going to get this wrong, but like any latency there, essentially. It's not going to have to wait. For example, I think this is how it works. If you had if this was 180 FPS without G-Sync, the PC's got to do 180 frames a second, which is a lot. So let's say on frame 161, it's not ready, the PC. I think on a normal monitor, it would show the previous frame.
Okay.
Or I think it would tear, which is like, as far as it's got, it just gives you that. But you may have seen sometimes tearing.
Yeah.
Like the screen's like... So I think that's what G-Sync stops, which is just like, the PC's not ready. Don't worry, the monitor's also gonna adjust for it.
Okay, so would you say it's kind of like adaptive and predicts it?
I think it's all happening in real time. But basically, where G-Sync is really helpful, for example, is let's say you're running at 45 FPS. 40, and probably not for racing games, but like other games. 45 FPS on a 60 Hertz monitor is going to look rough. But if you've got a G-Sync monitor and it goes down and it has that adaptive range, it will just turn into a 45 Hertz monitor and it all matches and it's fluid.
So with this built in, that's a massive plus.
Yeah, don't need to worry about it.
Huge plus.
And we're seeing that it's working here.
Yeah. Obviously comes with the wall mount support. Low blue light without flickering.
So I would say, for the price, 189 euros, what's that in Freedom? Be pretty similar in Freedom, I think.
I think it's pretty much.
So under $200. Would you be disappointed for what's obviously we haven't used it for a long time, so we can't say like long-term stuff. But if I needed a monitor, short notice, and I wanted this aspect ratio for $200, I mean, it seems to do the job.
It does the job. The curve's nice and subtle. It's got all these G-Syncs.
So at this point, we were quite liking the monitor, and we wanted to put a camera up there in slow motion to check everything with like grey to grey and response time, and if there's any ghosting. Because to be honest with you, I was quite surprised that a monitor at this price point just seems to work for sim racing. Like with sim racing being so fast moving, you would really notice if there was smearing or ghosting, but that just isn't the case here. As you can see, nothing's really smearing. I don't know whether it's even possible to really show in the iPhone camera, but we thought this is the best way, is to put it at slow motion. The main thing you need to be aware of with this monitor is simply that it's not a ultra wide. Like, I think that's pretty much the main thing. And also it's a 1440p monitor. I've been using 1080p monitors recently and been quite surprised by them actually, that they've worked so well, like the super ultra wides. Normally I'm using 4K monitors, and actually I'm thinking, do I need to be running 4K? I think when you're recording footage in 1440p and you blow up to 4K, that's different. But if you're just sim racing in 1440p, seems to be a happy medium. It's not an OLED screen, so you're not going to have all the OLED stuff. However, it seems to have a decent matte finish which stops any reflection. So kind of pleasantly surprised by this. Obviously KTC are pretty proud with this monitor, otherwise they wouldn't send it to us. And you know, a lot of stuff in sim racing is actually quite affordable. A lot of it's been insulated from the price increases we've seen on memory and graphics cards. Obviously they're part of sim racing, but stuff like wheels and wheelbases and pedals, and now monitors we include, are very competitive and have the features which I think is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, it was kind of impressive.
I would be happy to run this.
Yeah.
It does everything which is needed. It looks good. We haven't noticed anything dropping out or any dead pixels. It went together really, really easily.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
That was real good. You can see all the marbles on the track there, or off the track. Kireth's now going for the head-on. But in general, it looks good. It seems to be performing absolutely
Do you
great.
miss that it's not 4K?
No.
We'll have to do a comparison in the future, but like here, when they're coming out of La Source, you can make out all those cars individually there. Yeah. And I'm not sure in real life, having stood not here, but just in the grandstand behind, that you see much more than that. So I thought it might be a 1080p monitor, but it's not. It's a 1440p monitor, under $200 from KT. Big thanks to KT for sending this over and sponsoring this video. So if you're looking for something under 200, go check it out. If you have any thoughts, let me know in the comments. And quite excited to do some more monitor reviews actually, and really understand what are the differences between monitors. It's not an OLED, and it's not like 1,000 hertz. But obviously, you're not going to get that for the price. But what's
it's also not $1,000. Like, you can definitely spend.
And you can spend $1,000. We went to see Samsung in Las Vegas at CES, and those monitors were like
a lot,
$3,000 or something. So hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next video.